Okay, good morning. We were seeing Jharkhand eligibility test question number 59. So question number 59 is the action potential in the neuron is initiated by which one of the following mechanism? Options are hyperpolarization, opening of potassium ion channel, opening of sodium ion channel, and inward flux of potassium ion. Okay, so this is the question. And before the question, before we discuss upon the question, let's see what the nerve conduction is about. What happens in the nerve conduction, isn't it? So this is the nerve, isn't it? Nerve cell, and we will talk about nerve axon membrane. You know that this thread like structure is nerve cell, and it is the cell body, and the head is known as the cell body, and the remaining tail portion is known as the axon, isn't it? So we will talk about axon membrane. In axon membrane, uh, there are three pumps. Say for example, the sodium potassium pump is there, and sodium voltage gated channel is there, and potassium ion gated channel is there. One pump is there, and two voltage gated channels are there, and the nerve is conducted toward the tail portion of the axon. Okay, so this you can see, this is a depiction of axon membrane. And in this axon membrane, inside the concentration of potassium ion is there, and outside the sodium concentration of sodium ion is there, and the sodium potassium pump is always working. Due to this, the situation is created. And likewise, outside the sodium ions are greater, and inside the concentration of potassium ion is less. So this creates a polarized situation. Polarization is there, and this is said to be polarized state, and this polarized state is also known as resting potential, isn't it? In case of stimulus, okay, case of stimulus, sodium voltage gate opens and the sodium ions diffuses inside the axon, and the inside becomes positive and the outside is negative with comparison to inside of the cell. So this movement of ions is known as depolarization, and the potential is known as action potential, isn't it? Now the sodium voltage gated channel permits two sodium ions to come inside the cell through diffusion in case of stimulus. So remember that this situation is known as depolarization, because the polarized situation has changed, and the potential is now known as action potential. Okay, remember this. And again, when with the increase of sodium ions inside nerve fiber, sodium influx stop, and K plus ion outflows begins, and through voltage gated potassium channel, two sodium ions diffuse out of the cell, isn't it, until the resting potential is achieved. So now this movement of potassium ion outside the cell is known as repolarization, isn't it? Again, now this is the situation is again repolarized, but the potassium ion is outside the cell. So the sodium potassium pump again pumps inside, the sodium potassium pump pumps inside the potassium ion, and brings the pumps outside the sodium ion. Again, this is again the resting potential, isn't it? From where we have started, that is the polarized state, that again we have reached, isn't it? So as you can see, the polarized state is there, and again from polarized state the depolarization occurs, and from depolarization the repolarization occur, and again from repolarization the polarized state is repeated again and again, and this repetition goes on and on in a nerve conduction. Okay, you can revise the what we have just discussed. in a polarized state condition, the sodium ion concentration outside the axon channel is greater, and the potassium ion concentration is inside and is less than in comparison with the sodium ion outside the axon, isn't it? This is the polarized state, and the charges are outside positive and inside negative. This is polarized state, and this is known as resting potential. And in case of any stimulus, that is any touch or any reflex, any kind of stimulus, so say the sodium ion voltage gated channels open and the depolarization takes place. The sodium ion diffuses inside the axon membrane, inside the cell, and this is known as axon potential. Okay, this is the one of the option in the question. Okay, remember this one. In case of any stimulus, the sodium voltage gated channel and the depolarization takes place, and this is known as axon potential, isn't it? Now again, the sodium has come inside, and again after depolarization what happened? Repolarization takes place. Repolarization, the potassium voltage gated senses a positive charge inside the axon membrane, and the voltage gate opens, and the potassium is diffused out of the cell, isn't it? And again the sodium potassium pump is now, this is this polarized state is achieved in the step 4. I have forgot. In this what happens? The sodium and potassium are put into their place at their respective places. Okay, so one more option is there, which is hyperpolarization, isn't it? So what is hyperpolarization? When the potential becomes less negative, it is known as depolarization, isn't it? And in muscle fiber, when the potential becomes more negative, the term is known as hyperpolarization, and the fibers becomes less excitable, isn't it? So this is not in relation with the question, this is something else. Okay, you can read the literature here and see upon yourself. So again, coming upon the question, the action potential in neuron is initiated by which one of the following mechanism? See, we have just seen what action potential does. We have seen here the action potential in case of any stimulus, the sodium voltage gated ion opens up, and the sodium ion comes inside the axon membrane. So option number B is correct. Opening of potassium ion channel takes place afterward, and inward flux of potassium ion does not take place. Only outward flux of potassium ion takes place. The potassium ion is pumped in by the sodium potassium pump, and hyperpolarization we have just discussed. Okay, thank you for having here. And hyperpolarization, you will come across this term in many other scenarios also, and this is the literature of general and conduction of nerve impulse, if you want to read the literature. Okay, thank you.